Hello and welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Resting Place podcast with me, Dapo Agiri.
My name's Barney Howe.
Hell yeah, it is.
Woo!
And today we are doing a vinyl countdown. For those who don't know what a vinyl countdown is where we rank our favourite albums from a particular genre, artist, year, whatever it may be, and come to a definitive answer of what is the best.
Good.
I would say Barney is more excited about this final countdown than I am.
It's definitely an episode I suggested. I think it'll be unsurprising for listeners to
and
find
I
out.
Conceded.
I said, okay.
begrudgingly.
I think it's important. It's a timely episode as the subject becomes towards the end half of her massive tour around the world. We're, of course, talking about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
The pop princess's pop princess.
The queen of pop princesses.
Hell yeah.
Is she bigger? Sorry, this is just a thought. Is she bigger than any female pop star ever? Like, is she the biggest now?
I think it is between her and Beyonce in terms of like numbers.
In terms of just sales figure.
Like, but I think if we're looking at right now, she's the biggest.
Okay.
I would maybe even say she's the biggest. Never mind female.
Would you say the same in terms of like cultural references? Like I'm looking at like, I don't know, for argument's sake, because you can't compare numbers in the past generations. Like, would you compare like a Madonna or like a Cher? Would you say she's surpassed them in terms of stature?
I think in success she has. I think in Cher she has passed, in my opinion. Madonna, I don't think she's there with cultural relevance yet.
Okay.
I think she's kind of everywhere, but it's hard to
fucking everywhere.
It's hard to like pinpoint like Madonna. It's like, oh, like a prayer.
Yeah.
Like Material Girl. Like she has like very like pinpoint images for her stuff.
She has moments.
And Taylor has like vibes perhaps. She has eras very famously.
She has eras, yeah.
But I don't think she's at Madonna's kind of icon level yet.
Yeah.
And I say that someone who absolutely loves Taylor Swift. I think she's very close. I think she's amazing. But I think Madonna may pip her in that one category.
Do you think that it was potentially the whole, and this is so mean, I'm sure their relationship is lovely and real, but like the Travis Kelce back.
I love that we're talking about the Travis Kelce tea on the podcast.
Like, do you feel like there's an element of like that crosses her over into more of a iconic celebrity status? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think it
Madonna
widens
had
her view.
Yeah, because not that Travis Kelce is like a global superstar in the same way as some of Madonna's like exes,
like Rodney.
Dennis Rodman.
Rodney Dennis Rodman.
But that is. Where do you think they got the rod from?
I'm really glad that you got what I was talking about.
I was. We're in the same headspace. It's fine.
Oh no.
But like, you see what I mean? Like that.
I do.
Do you think like it has that same sort of big sports star plus big singer equals like mass pandemonium?
Yeah, I do. I think it. I mean, Taylor is huge in America, but her demographic is not the people that are watching American football.
Yeah.
But now, because all the cameras in the American football games are just filming Taylor Swift.
Mate, it's ridiculous. I watch American football, and the amount of airtime she gets is a joke. Like, it's not that she's on the screen all the time. Like, no. I'll be fair, but they are panning to her whenever anything happens.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, at what point do we stop caring? Like, she goes to every home game because she can PJ into it. So like, I don't really care that she's celebrating with Patrick Mahomes' wife. Like, Patrick Mahomes' wife has been there for years. She doesn't get that. She's got more airtime because Taylor Swift is there than she's ever got on her own. Than she's ever got. And then there was that image of her like chest bumping. Who was it? Blake Lively.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is where it feels fake to me. Like, you can celebrate, but there's no way that you and Blake Lively are just chest. That's your natural disposition.
No, she doesn't seem like a chest pumper.
She doesn't. But we're not here to criticise her relationship and the validity of it. We are here to talk about her music. The way it's going to work today, we are going to split her albums into 2 lists. My list, Barney's list.
Yep.
We picked our best 3.
Yes, she has a very long discography.
Yeah, she has a long discography.
It's worth caveating as well, we're not going to be talking about the re-releases.
Yeah, Taylor's versions don't count.
They are, I say this as a big fan, the same songs. So it would be a waste of time.
Yeah, facts.
If it's one she's got Taylor's version of, and you listeners could just pretend that I've said Taylor's version after it. If it hasn't happened yet, then cool.
Cool. If you prefer Taylor's version, we picked that one.
Yep.
But that is a good caveat.
Whatever you guys want.
Yeah, it cucks. She has so many albums.
She does, and we got the Tortured Poets Department is coming out later this year.
Oh right,
April the 19th.
April the 19th. So it's
very time of recording.
Yeah, not out yet.
Yeah.
So don't shout at us for not picking it. We literally weren't able to listen to it. we couldn't. Where do we start? Can I just start by saying, this is the most Taylor Swift I've listened to in my entire life.
This is the best part of your life?
My brain hurts.
Oh.
My brain, I've never been like, she's kind of like Marmite for me, because I notoriously don't love or hate Marmite.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very indifferent about it. So
the phrase kind of loses your meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Marmite about it in a different way to everyone else.
God, who the fuck do I think I am? So, Jesus Christ.
Marmite, Dapo's version.
So dumb. Yes. What struck me is she doesn't make bad music, and she's never made bad music, I don't think. How much of her music do I think is really good? And that's where I probably come into some issues with it. Like, I think she deserves everything that she has, because the consistency over so many years and like the ability to kind of change her style and drift from country into pop into like more folky stuff is very commendable. And like I say, I don't think actually any of her albums are objectively bad.
No.
Which is hard to say when you've released so many over the space of like 18 years.
Yeah.
And just the like presence of her, she is a force of nature. Like, that is just like,
she's an absolute machine.
Yeah, she is a machine.
And like, in a different way to some other artists, like, she does all of her own writing.
Yes,
and plays her own instruments and that kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%. But to pick a best, I found difficult, because like everything was just on a level, and there wasn't necessarily going back through the albums like whoa, gosh, I can't believe Taylor Swift released this. This is so like out there and amazing. This is so like musically intelligent. Like, there wasn't that stand out for me.
Okay.
But then but I didn't say it was bad. So
that's true, you didn't say
I didn't say it was
bad,
bad, but I said it in a roundabout way.
You did, yeah.
You're the Swiftie.
I am the Swiftie.
You are the Swiftie, so I think it's only right that we hear your top 3 first, and maybe some honourable mentions as well. Have you had some?
Yeah, I did. I got a couple. What would be in my 5th place, so honourable mention, the honourable mention for honourable mentions is Midnights. I like Midnights a lot.
Okay.
Taylor, at the time of recording, most recent album. It's got some bangers on it. It's got Karma. I think it's my favourite one from there.
Yeah.
I think it's her kind of just being a pop princess. A lot of the other ones that we'll talk about later, I know, like Reputation, Lover, Folklore, kind of have their own vibes. Midnights to me feels a little bit like there's not really a clear-cut vibe with Midnights. I think it's got some great songs on it, and I think I listen to it a lot, but I don't think it's as powerful or as neat as some of the other albums.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Thank you.
It is also one of my honourable mentions.
Is it?
Yeah,
Lovely.
It is also one of my honourable mentions. It's just easy listening, I have found.
Yeah.
Really easy
Nice.
listening. And then the singles from it, like Karma, Anti-Hero.
Anti-Hero's good.
They sit with you nicely.
They do.
I do get Midnights. What was your...
My second honourable mention, this one was harder to pick. This could have very nearly been my 3rd place. It was Red.
Okay.
I love Red. It was first album I had in my car. CD of Red. Bought that at Tesco.
Nice.
£10.
Wow.
Drop in the cash, mate.
Swiftie since day.
Innit? Wow, fucking hell, this is tangent, but my brother's first car was a Suzuki Swift. He named it Taylor Swift.
Clever. Smart man.
There you go, yeah. He works for the government.
He does a real job.
That is a great album in my mind. I think she's quite... I mean, I nearly said the word rock there, and that's just not the case. But let's not kid anyone.
Yeah, let's not lie to ourselves.
But it just has an energy about it. It, I think, is like very powerful. We've got State of Grace, Red, obviously, Only With Trouble. 22 is a fucking banger. Stay.
Said this album. You were gonna say rock about this album.
Yeah, it isn't rock, but it's just I don't know. I think it's like this for me was the last album Taylor released before she became mainstream pop. I think you still got quite a bit of country back here. Okay. And I like country Taylor, so I think this maybe could have been my third. I really like this album. I listen to it a lot still.
Okay.
Any honourable mentions for you before we get going?
Yeah, so I would have, like I said, I would have had Midnight. And I actually really liked Evermore.
Ooh.
But not enough to put in my...
I see.
Yeah, not
well, what can you do?
Like, I think, because I just didn't bother with this album when it first came out. So this was literally my first listen of it. And I just thought it was a lot more... nuanced than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
it was a little bit softer.
A little bit of music.
Yeah. It was something
She's not just a pretty face, Dapo.
No.
Despite what you were saying.
She is a pretty face.
I'm just accusing you of saying completely untrue allegations.
But yeah, I think it surprised me a little bit.
Fair.
I thought Cowboy Like Me, weirdly enough, was something that I quite liked.
Yeah.
I think post CMAT I'm just opening myself up to
you're in your country,
more country folky music. But yeah, I think Evermore of the Taylor Swift albums, like I don't think it had like as much love from the generic Swiftie population.
Yes.
Like especially compared to like Folklore as well. Like because they came back out in quick succession, didn't they?
Yeah, Folklore was first and Evermore followed very soon.
Yeah, and
sister albums.
I think a lot of people liked Folklore, and Evermore was just kind of
like, they were digesting that.
Yeah. Whereas I felt like actually probably could have got a bit more kudos than it did.
Big time.
But yeah,
I agree.
Let's get to the nitty gritty. I think.
Fuck yeah.
Let's do it.
Would you like to go first? Just tell me your thoughts.
I'm scared to go first.
No,
I'm scared to go first, Barney.
I won't yell.
Okay. My third is 1989.
What? Just joking.
I don't know if you are. I'm scared.
No. Talk to me.
So I just think this for me, this is the Taylor Swift I know. This is poppy Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah, boy.
And I think it definitely deserved to be in the top 3 because it was the one where I listened to it, even outside of the like singles of Blank Space and Shake It Off and whatnot. Like I remember going through and being like, oh shit, yeah, I do remember this song. I do remember this song. Oh yeah, I do remember this song. So that like relevant side of it is there, and I think it is the epitome of like Taylor Swift doesn't make bad songs. Like they're good poppy bops.
Yep.
And there isn't really a dip in the album. I wouldn't say like it drops, but then I wouldn't say that there's anything that like makes me be like, oh yeah, let's go Taylor, or like make me even consider becoming a Swiftie.
Right.
That's where I sit with.
That's fair. I can clear that. I mean, you picked the album with the Kendrick feature.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that not bump it up?
No, it doesn't. That doesn't do enough for me.
Many people regard it as his best verse.
I've actually heard him say that.
Yeah,
I think it did a genius...
I was most proud.
Yeah. Like when she called me up and asked me to be on it, like I really felt that this was my calling.
Yeah, this is where it's supposed to be.
Like this is how I can really make a statement in my music. It's by doing a verse with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just doesn't move me, I think is the best way I can put it.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
I agree. I think 1989 is it's the quintessential Taylor. It's the one where you show me, the track list, and I can hear every single song on that list in my head immediately. And they all have her sound, but they're all distinct from each other. Like they're not just copy and paste. I'm saying again, they all have her sound. They are all Taylor Swift songs. But like different vibes. Like Welcome to New York is very upbeat and poppy as a start to an album. I really like that. Bad Blood is a bit more aggressive. Wildest Dreams is very euphoric sounding, I think. I really love this album. It will feature on my list, but not in my third place.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case. That's why I was scared. That's why I was scared. I don't know.
We've done all ranking. It's we're all friends here.
Yeah, for now.
We'll always be pals, I promise.
What is your third place?
My third place, Speak of the Devil, is Folklore.
Okay.
It was a surprise drop from Taylor, which was very exciting. She is a big artist, and I feel like surprise drop isn't something that's done.
Yeah, normally the release plan is very meticulously thought out
for someone this massive. Yeah.
It's a whole process.
We were talking earlier about how J. Cole just surprise dropped an album, some recording a couple of days ago, and it amazes me that someone as big as J. Cole, never mind someone as big as Taylor Swift, could get away with that.
Yeah, facts.
So kind of the surprise of Folklore was a real joy, and the first 3 songs on this album are for me like a real trio. Like I think they're 3 of her top 20 songs. The One, Cardigan, and The Last Great American Dynasty.
Okay.
I think this album is really Taylor at like some of her most stripped back levels, some of her most personal, intimate sounds. It's not acoustic, but there are no like blaring horns. There's nothing like that. I just think it's really beautiful. I think she really, at this point in her career, was so comfortable and confident that she could have really done anything. And I think what she did in that point in her career was to go back to herself, to her roots. I sound like a real swiftie at this point.
I mean, you are, so.
I am, yeah, that's probably why.
You're allowed to. Safe space.
Going back to her roots and really just like, doing some more interior looking music and soul searching writing. And I think it's just a really beautiful album. It's very nice, it's very chill, it's very rainy Sunday afternoon music.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I totally agree. I would like to reserve my thoughts on Folklore.
Whoa! Okay.
If that's okay.
Reserve away, bro.
Okay, I would like to
reserve.
Party
of one.
I knew you were going to say that. I would like to reserve my thoughts on Folklore.
Fine. Interesting.
So, should I go for my number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I feel we now. Yeah, okay, go. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
My number 2 is not Folklore.
Okay. Whoa!
My number 2 is Red.
Oh, okay, nice.
In short,
cool.
I think Red is a better version of 1989.
Wow. Okay.
Is what you were saying with the sense of it being like the last of Country Taylor. I think that makes it a little bit more interesting to listen to. I found Red as a discovery, like trying to be as analytical and like music journalistic as possible and not just being like, I'm listening to Taylor Swift again. I found it actually quite interesting. I found it a bit more of a audio journey than any of the other albums, even including my first one. I think it's a lot more eclectic in the influences that it draws. I think it's a lot more varied in the like sounds of each individual track. I don't think it's like as all the way through.
Okay.
So like if I take Folklore, for example, or Evermore, or less so Midnights, but they all sound quite similar.
They do.
The start of the album to the end of the album, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I felt that I was taken on a bit more of a excursion with this album, and the peaks of it slap.
Yeah,
like the peaks of it slap. Let's not forget that. 22, I Knew You Were Trouble, The Last Time, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. Like they are really everything has changed. That is an underrated Taylor Swift song.
I might have ranked that too low.
I think you might have.
I genuinely think
you might,
because
I think it's such a quintessentially pop Taylor Swift album.
It is,
but
got a bit of flavour in it.
Yeah, a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
Facts. That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's a little bit of spice, and for someone who is so vanilla as Taylor Swift, it's nice to see her add a little bit of spice.
A little 7-7.
Yeah, that's my take on it, and I just was very, very pleasantly surprised going back through it as to how nice it was.
I respect that. That's good logic, good answering. My number 2 spot. I'm going to Lover.
Really?
I am. Yeah, I like Lover.
Lover was nowhere near my.
Really? Oh, you're wild.
Lover was not even in consideration for me.
The 2019 album.
Jesus. Okay, go talk to me. Talk to me about Lover.
I think. Ooh, how could you call me that? Special moment between us.
Talk to me, Lover.
Talk to me, Lover.
Sound like from the West Country.
Talk to me, Lover.
Lover.
This for me is Taylor's most like unabashedly fun album.
Yeah.
It is so stupid.
It's the Barney pickers.
It is the Barney pick. It's like no thoughts going on. To be correct, I'm saying this is a compliment. I've got the Existed, Cruel Summer, Lover, The Man, fucking London Boy. Is like my guilty pleasure banger. I love that song because I'm a London Boy, Dapo.
Yeah,
That's me. I promise I am now.
London by Wimborne St. Giles.
Wimborne St. Giles. London via Dorset. We got a bit of Brendan Urie in here as well. It's fun. Panic at the Disco scene.
Yeah.
I think the difference between us in these rankings, we've done a few vinyl countdowns now.
Yeah.
You always approach it in a more intelligent way than I do. You look at like the artist progression, their different like genres, their eras. I kind of just think I like more songs on this album than the previous one.
No, fair enough. Which is essentially what it should be.
It's one of them. It makes our chemistry so exciting.
Yeah. The conflict.
It's thrilling. People on the edge of their seats, the edge of their earbuds. I just really like this album. I think it's really good fun. I've already mentioned London Boy, but I think, this is Taylor kind of being like, I'm fucking in my bag. I know what I'm doing. Bam. Lover. Easy. I can see you having thoughts.
So, this would have been like one of my bottom picks.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
Oh. You're a London Boy too.
I am a London boy.
Idris Elba's at the start of that?
Yeah, no.
He's there?
I don't know why.
That didn't change it? It's because they were working on Cats together at the time.
That makes it so much worse, because that is a god-awful film.
I can't believe it.
You do not like...
No, I don't like
Cats.
Cats.
Jason Derulo's package just on show.
He was like the one good part of Cats. Because of his ding-dong. His binkers.
Binkers is crazy. I've never heard the word binkers.
Binkers on the pod. You were saying?
Yeah. I didn't resonate with this album. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna sit here and shit on it. Like I said,
that's fine.
I don't think there are any really poor albums. Like, I know we've done some of these, and like I remember the Beyonce one when we were B-Day,
slagging on some of those albums.
Yeah, chatting about B-Day, which I stand by. Like, fight me, I don't care. But there's just nothing for me to hold on to in this album.
That's fair, yeah.
I'm trying to find little bits of like, I find this really clever, or I really like this little outro, and I was just like, no, it's just there. That's fair. The word that I would come up with is mid, but then these days that does come with really negative connotation.
It does, but I get what you're saying. Like, I think musically there is nothing being challenged here. I think there's some good lyricism. Songs like Cornelia Street, I like a bit more. Soon You'll Get Better with the Dixie Chicks, I think, is actually quite an intelligently worded song. But I'm saying this, completely agree with you that musically this is a mid album.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, I fucking love it. I bang this album.
But it's my number 2.
It's my number 2 pick.
Which is so fair.
It's rough.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to make the final list, but I feel like I carry less weight in this arena,
it's fine.
in this pantheon.
It's okay. Well, speaking of pantheon, who's your champion? Well, I think we know, but tell us more.
My favourite Taylor Swift album, the best Taylor Swift album in my opinion, is Folklore.
What?
Yeah, Folklore.
Nice.
So again, kind of glossed over this album when it came out, but like had a brief dalliance with it, shall we say. And I think the first song I had heard was 7. I can't remember where I heard it, but I was like, oh, this is okay. But it didn't necessarily draw me in to listen to the full album in its entirety at the time. Obviously, because we do our due diligence on this podcast, I listen to the full album.
Me too.
It's really, really, really pleasant to listen to.
Yay!
Like, if they're like, this is definitely, obviously it's my number one, but like this is definitely the one that I found myself being like, could and will go back to. Like I found in certain settings like really pleasant on a journey. You could just sit back, I like my melt into
you like a bit of bus music.
Yeah, a little bit of bus. I love to feel like I'm the main character in this album. Oh, stop it.
It's true.
I think as well, on top of that, the idea of kind of breaking out into doing what I want and making the music that I want to make without any like care of the external pressures, and like I think it felt like a little bit of a breaking out party from pop Taylor into this new folky, like not even folky is the word, and I think this is my favorite Taylor era personally.
That's fair.
And I think if I were to really delve into her as an artist, and if I were to kind of try and give it a go as a Swiftie, this would be this would be my entry point. This would be the start for me. And I think, like I said, I think Evermore was quite a nice album, and I think it was maybe overlooked because of the quality of Folklore and how well received it was. I really, really like Exile. I think Exile, and I'm a big Bon Iver fan anyway. Yeah. But like, I just thought it was a beautiful song.
I think it is too. I agree with you. Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, no, you weren't expecting that. Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that. But you're right. I think to comment on that. I think I used to describe it as like a coming out party for her folk era. I think you're absolutely right, and it is an era that she did very well in, and it's very beautiful. Yeah, it's a really nice album. It's very well constructed. It's intelligent. The music is good. Yeah, which for Taylor is not always guaranteed. Yeah, in terms of like complexity.
One thing I do like as well. This is just from like reading up as well. I think there's a lot of artists who have taken a lot of inspiration from this album, which is quite rare for a project that is so modern, to have modern artists being like, okay, actually this gave me the space to kind of launch my career off of, or it put me in a stage where I wanted to pursue the avenues that I wanted to pursue, because Taylor Swift's doing it. And I think I'm going to do it again.
I think you're going to say what I'm thinking.
What?
About Beyonce?
Yeah. I think
she's done it right.
She's done it right. Yeah. So, like, for context, we've been saying that the way
we've been saying literally all day.
We've been saying that like the way in which Beyonce has kind of co-opted country music and black country music and is being earmarked as this pioneer by saying, like this is my thing, and having all these people on. Yes, it's a platform, and yes, it's given them the chance to excel in their own right, but it feels like a little bit like
she's just putting her own label on it.
Yeah, look what I did. She's stealing the limelight a little bit, like grabbing the attention away from some people who need it. Whereas I feel like Taylor Swift has done it in a way where she's done her thing, and she's like, this is me, and she's opened up people to a world of this folky pop mashup, but then she's opened the door for other people to come through and let those other people come through on their own without it being attached to the Taylor Swift name.
Yes, I agree.
And I think that's a commendable thing, as well as the album being really beautiful.
I agree, and also hung off her own talents as well. Like Beyonce is full of features from established black country artists, apart from Bon Iver. It's just Taylor.
Established his own, like, and he's not looking for.
Yeah, he doesn't need this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's just there because he loves Taylor Swift. As we all do.
Well, as I'm learning to.
There you go. I think that's you've a very interesting breakdown of folklore.
It was a really nice album. It's as much as I jest, like it was a lot. She has too many albums. But
she does have too many albums. I agree.
And in hindsight, I probably could have listened to like 3 less than I actually did, because we were never going to talk about them anyway.
Yeah, I didn't listen to Taylor Swift or Fitness in preparation for this.
But
did not think it was well.
He could have told me. But this was one that I did come away feeling like glad that I'd gone back and listened to, and I have a bit more of a respect for the artist and the fan base in as a whole.
Sweet.
So the number one that we actually all care about, the number one that is going to be our number one. Let's just
don't know that.
Non-negotiable.
It is a bit. It's 1989. It's got to be 1989. Look, Taylor Swift has done incredible things. She has managed to establish her name as a brand in a way that very few artists have. Where you pitch Taylor Swift, she is Miss Americana.
Yeah.
And I think the image of Taylor Swift people hold in their minds is the image from 1989.
Yeah.
That is the quintessential Taylor Swift.
Yeah, no, I do get it.
I agree. Like, I think Folklore probably is the more interestingly constructed album. I think it might be more personal, but I think this is so much fun, and it has arguably maybe 3 of her biggest songs on it. Shake It Off might be the biggest song.
Yeah. Bad Blood's got to be up there.
Bad Blood's got to be up there. Blank Space, I think, should be in that conversation.
Yeah.
Style is huge as well. I just fucking love this album. I saw the Red was the first CD I bought for my car. This was the second.
And then I threw Red away.
I said, that's it. That's all of music. I just fucking love this album.
Yeah, no, and I this is why I was scared, because I kind of knew it was going to be your number one.
Yeah.
And I kind of knew you were going to ride for it pretty tough.
It's embarrassing though, because you came in with a really good argument for Folklore, and me as the alleged shifty was like, I just like it. It's good.
It is good. I think with Taylor Swift as well, and this is maybe a difference in some of the other vinyl countdowns that we've done, and maybe it's a sense of you rubbing off on me a little bit.
Cool.
Is
keep it PG.
Fuck's sake.
Don't remember that.
Oh my god, it's been a long day. Oh gosh, funny. I can't even remember what I was going to say. Apart from, there's maybe an element of you rubbing off. Don't say it again.
Element of me rubbing you off.
An element of your influence on me.
Yep.
Is that Taylor Swift makes bangers, right?
Yes.
Beyond everything, the reason Taylor Swift is what she is, and the reason why people love Taylor Swift, is not because she is this enigmatic, complex figure who is trying to weave bits of poetry into her songs, and that the storytelling is really vague and up for interpretation. She is a girl who feels things, and she tells you how she feels with big bangers,
big synth pop bangers.
Yeah, that is it.
That is it,
and that is this album.
It's great,
and that is this album. So I would not be remiss to put it at number one. I wouldn't fight you.
Thank you.
I wouldn't fight you at all.
I'd lose if we fought.
Yeah. But for content's sake, should we make a list from 5 to 1?
I think we should. You've generally. I personally. I believe 1989 is the quintessential Taylor. I don't think it's the best song, but I think it should be at the best song, best album, but it should be at the top. Everything else, I think you've genuinely rumbled what I thought was quite a solid ranking.
Oh, thank you.
With your opinions and your thoughts.
Give them to yourself, man.
Shall we start from the bottom, work our way up?
Yeah.
I think because we discussed it, I'm happy to put Lover in 5th.
Oh yeah, because we got the ones the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I think of the ones we've talked about, it's the least exciting, it's least different.
Agreed.
I
put it 6th below
you
Evermore,
did.
but I would allow it to be 5th. I would allow it to be 5th. Yeah.
Thank goodness. All right, Lovers in 5th.
Lovers in 5th. Yeah.
Boom. Thank you, Taylor.
Yeah.
What is 4th? What have we got?
We got Red.
Folklore. 1989.
1989. We had so. I mean,
we have 4 albums between us.
Yeah, so it would be 4th. So can we put it in 5th and put Evermore 4th?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm happy with that. That is because I
everyone's satisfied.
Everyone's satisfied. Yeah, except for Lover because it sucked. No, I'm
Definitely.
Yeah. So one of my honourable mentions makes a final list.
There you go.
That makes you happy.
You should be proud. Yeah.
I am very proud. I feel like I've really done my work this episode.
You have. And there is a lot of homework to be done on this. I'm glad you listened to it and enjoed it.
Yeah.
Even the Kendrick ones, there was like 5 albums.
Yeah.
And they are tonally different.
that is actually such a good point. That's where I got like flavour fatigue.
Yeah.
Where I just been listening
just eating ice cream
and
for hours.
They're not short. They're like 50 minutes plus.
Bruh.
I didn't do bonus tracks, to be fair. So like,
that's why you didn't put 1989 stop. Changes everything.
But yeah, I'm happy with Evermore 4th, and then I would go Red.
Yeah.
3rd.
Red, I think 3rd.
Yeah,
Folklore 2nd.
1989.
1989
1st.
The Piece de Resistance.
Piece de Resistance. Despite all my resistance.
There's lots of resistance for that piece.
No, I actually think it was always going to happen.
Yeah,
we were never going to do this list, and it wasn't going to be at 1989.
I think I besides from my strong opinions, that it is just, if you look back at the 2010s music scene, it is, but for better or for worse, one of the most influential, one of the most successful albums in that time period. And even in modern female pop in general.
In pop in general. In music. And I think as well, if we're talking context and we're talking like the wider story behind these albums and that playing a part into the choice, not just music. This is Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Like this is the one people know. This is like the most, and I said it when I put it 3rd, like I was going back, even not the big songs, I was like, oh yeah, I know Places. Oh yeah, I know This Love. And I was like, why do I know these songs?
Yeah.
It's like, because this album was everywhere.
It was
everywhere.
Every fucking advert, every fucking anything.
And I guess if we don't have this album, everything that comes after, in terms of the stuff that I like and the folk era, does it have the platform to even do what it does? Like, does the Eras tour exist without like her being able to?
It gave her that thing.
It gave her the Swifties. Like this is where the like stands came from. Like, this is where it became an obsession.
This is where it was the pop-optimistic, what they're calling it.
Love that.
It was like, I'm reading it from the Wikipedia, so I didn't come up with that because it's a great phrase. It was a reassessment of mainstream pop that had been dismissed by indie listeners. And what it did was, it was so good, Dapo, that it brought the indie crowd back from their silly old indie world
and their little plaid shirts,
and their mullets, and their moustaches. And they said, I loved it this week.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
What is the best Taylor Swift song?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. Because I have an answer.
London Boy.
I'll cut this episode right now.
Can you answer first?
Yeah.
And I'll think for a second.
Yeah, I can.
What have you got?
It's Love Story.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
It's Love
it
Story.
Might be Love Story.
It's Love Story. Like I had like a bit of a sickness with it, because when it was number 1, have I told you a story? Maybe not. No, I'll tell it now. When it was number 1, I was flying to America, to Washington, I think, and it was an 8-hour flight. And this was before the time of like having handheld devices that I could watch films on. And for whatever reason, I think either my screen was like broken, or there was no like films that I wanted to watch. So I was like, I'm just gonna sleep on this flight, and I'm gonna put the radio on.
Nice.
And it was like the top 20 Billboard charts.
Okay.
Love Story was number 1.
Nice.
So for the 8 hours of the flight, pretty much, it ran through all the top 20 songs, but it played Taylor Swift's Love Story first, because it was number 1, last, because it was number 1, and in the middle, because it was number 1.
Nice.
So I knew all the words to that song, like, when I woke up, and I was like, wow. And it just kind of like, got, like, I had to
I love that.
shut it out of my head, because I was like, why do I know this? Going back, it's an absolute bop. I'm not going to say it's a banger, because it's. I do want to.
Those are different words.
Those are different words,
different
right?
words.
They're different words. But for what it was, the time it was, the like story behind it, the fun, the impact of it.
Yeah.
I think it is her best song, and I don't think she's ever like hit that again.
Arguably her most iconic music video as well.
Yeah. It's just, and I think regardless of whether people like it or not, if someone started like being like Romeo's, everybody knows how that bit goes. Like it is just facts. It
might be the best song.
Yeah.
I think you genuinely. For me, it's either that or Shake It Off. I think that's the only one that can hold a candle to it.
Off, yeah.
That was bigger later, but maybe not as impactful because it had already been done by her.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, Taylor Swift's done another great song.
Great song, yeah. And it's
I get for the 50th time.
Yeah, facts. And it's like the third one on this album that's just been played forever.
Yeah.
No, that is fair.
Yeah, so I think Shake It Off, probably the bigger song, but yeah, I think Love Story could be it.
I was just
no flexing in Taylor Swift muscles over there.
Never gonna live this down.
Yeah. You're a girl's girl, though. It's fine.
I always have been.
Yeah, that's true.
Should we run through the definitive list?
Yeah, let's go through one more time.
Yeah.
So in 5th place we have Lover. 4th is Evermore. 3rd is Red.
Yeah.
2nd is Folklore.
My favourite. Just saying that. Just putting it out there. My favourite.
But the objective best Taylor Swift album, scientifically decided.
Objective wasn't needed. Scientifically.
Scientific.
Cool.
It's 1989.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah. I think we can be happy with that list.
That's neat. That was a neat little ranking.
And I feel like, and I'm prepared to be absolutely shut down for this, I feel like people in the Swiftie circle will like this list more than the Beehive liked our
I think so. List. I think we've been I think we like Taylor more than we like Beyonce.
That's crazy to
in
say.
the modern era.
Yeah. Probably.
A lot of respect for where Beyonce came from, but where she's going, not so much.
Well, I think, arguably, we like the middle Beyonce.
Yes.
We like Beyonce from
That's true.
Sasha Fierce to Lemonade.
Yeah.
That period of time.
Great.
And then we liked.
Taylor's on the up, baby.
Yeah.
Hence why Midnights did not feature in the top 5.
Yeah. For those who've listened to it, the new one's shit. Thank you for joining us again for some rankings and ramblings.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
I hope you are happy with our list.
Yeah.
If you're not, please let us know.
Yeah, we're interested to hear your opinions.
Give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and give us a little rating on wherever you get your podcast as well, because that's always really helpful. But until next time, I've been Dapo Agiri.
And I've been Barney Howe.
This is the 6 o'clock news.
That's perfect. We'll end it there.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.